I bet we are on the air now.
We are on the air. Field goal. Oh, wait. What are we doing? Is it right or left? It doesn't really matter.
Hashtag caching NW is on the air. Like
Ready?
we just don't care.
We just don't care. Let's get started tonight, folks. I've got a recorder ready to go. I'm going to hit it. We're going to play some music, and we are going to talk block party. Here we go. Well, you found us. It's Thursday night. That means it's time for caching in the Northwest. This is the only podcast dedicated to geocaching in the great Pacific Northwest. We're going to talk about caches and cachers unique to this little corner of the country. So grab some hood and hold on tight. It's time to go caching in the Northwest.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it's also time, of course, to bring in our trail-bounding monkey. Some say he can leap from mountaintop to mountaintop, and others say he only uses his monkey powers for good. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
Hello, listeners. Hello, co-hosts. It's nice to see you, but it was even better to see you in person last weekend. It was a fantastic, fun time, and I do have to say that I got quite the giggle out of the grab the hood comment after the photo that we got a little bit of social media attention with earlier this week. All right, well, folks, listeners and viewers, thank you all once again for joining us here live or recorded, however you're joining us on hashtag caching NW, caching in the Northwest. And hey, if this is your very first time joining us, thanks for checking us out, and hopefully you heard about us at the block party, because we were sure glad to see you.
We met a lot of people up there that said, hey, what's this podcast thing? I'm going to go check it out. So if you are one of those people, welcome, welcome, welcome. And we're glad you're here. We'd like to extend a very special personal welcome just to you. And the rest of you, we're glad you're back too. We always love having all of you along. And, if it is your first time, give us a call at 253-693-TFTC and tell us what you think of this here little podcast thing we do.
That's right. Welcome. We love having you here. And for our returning listeners, we love hearing about your favorite caches and caching locations in the Northwest in your own voice. We play them each week on this podcast. So be sure to use the voicemail tool on the website and send us your favorite cache, and we will play it on the podcast as soon as we can. Your message needs to be just about 15 seconds long. That's enough time to say your geocaching name, the GC code, the name of the cache, and why you liked it. If we play it on an episode, you will get some cool swag.
Ooh, swag.
Swag.
Swag and tools. I like this. I like where we're going here.
Ooh, swag and cools or swag and ools?
Tools.
Tools.
Oh. You're talking about voicemail tools, and you're not talking about your co-hosts, I hope.
No, I'm not. These are tools that will make you drools. You know what? Let's just go to the voicemail.
Thank you.
I think it'll work out better here.
Hi, this is Alaska ER Doc, better known as Hacker Doc on Podcacher. Is Alaska part of the Northwest? We are somewhat northwest of Seattle. Did you know that Alaska is furthest north, west, and east of any state in the U.S.? We are the furthest east because Alaska crosses the 180th meridian. Just some useful trivia. My favorite Northwest cache is GC 20877 North to Alaska. This is a two-stage multi-cache that requires you to team up with a cacher in Oregon who finds the first stage of GC 2089W, Oregon or bust. You then exchange the coordinates for the final with the other cacher so you can both find the final stage of the cache in your state. After finding the final, you enter your partner's name in the log in your state, and then you enter your name in the log of the final in their state. What a great way to meet cachers from far away in the great Northwest. Thank you very much and appreciate your show. Bye-bye.
There we have it. It's AckerDoc or Alaska ER Doc.
Wow.
That
That's
sounds
quite
like a
the
fun cache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not in Alaska or Oregon, but I want to do it suddenly for some reason.
I
So
think
take your pick.
yeah, I think
What are you gonna go do?
Oregon is closer to us.
It is.
Alaska would be closer to you, Mr. Monkey.
I think Oregon's still closer to me.
Yeah, I think so.
British Columbia is pretty big. I think you guys forget that sometimes.
It's
Counting number of
huge.
border crossings, then it's closer. But by distance, yeah, Oregon's still closer.
I just learned today that Canada has the most coastline of any other country in the world. So
Yeah, we
there you
got
go.
We got a metric buttload of it in the north.
You got to bring that metric into it, don't you?
Yeah. I kind of followed you until you tossed the metric in there.
Well, it's actually, as opposed to every other measurement, a metric buttload is actually larger than an imperial buttload.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Who
and
knew?
where does that rank compared to a metric poop ton? Is that
That's right.
okay?
We're not
Hey,
going
let's
there.
get off of the metric poop ton talk. Let's go back to hashtag talk. You know, we did that little contest thing, that hashtag geocache road trip. It's over. It was.
Aw.
But you know the good part of that
Do tell.
is we get to distribute some prizes
Ooh,
to some really cool caching type peoples. How about that?
that's
I
awesome.
loved it.
We love
So-
giving out prizes.
For those of our new listeners that just joined us from finding us at the block party just mere days ago, there were some photos laid out on the table there, and if you go to Caching NW's Facebook page, you can see a whole mess of them. And people who submitted those, and that was the contest entry. And the people's favorite, based on Facebook faves, of course, it says Nankakaro. I hope I said that right.
I think that's close enough.
Okay. Now, there's a little note there that says both photos tied. So is it? Did he have two?
They had two
photos?
entries.
Okay.
And I think they won because there were children involved.
Oh, well,
Anytime there are children on Facebook, people go, "Oh, I keep that a favorite."
kids. We love
They entered two photos, and both their photos had the exact number of faves. Maybe that's all the friends on Facebook they had. They could have pulled that and said, "Hey, go vote for my photos on this site." You never know.
You never know. But congratulations nonetheless to
Yes.
them. Nankakaro.
I think that's closer.
Okay.
All I know is it's not Nankikaru. You'll get in trouble for that. So don't say that.
I won't say that because you
Don't say what again?
Don't say Nankikaru. She doesn't
Okay,
like that.
I won't say that.
Okay.
I did get to meet her at the block party. She came by,
Oh, nice.
so I know for a fact she won a prize. She picked it up.
Awesome.
I very well might have met her at the block party, but I have such a poor memory that I don't remember names too well. Who are you guys? No,
My
I met
name's
lots of
Ted
great-
Turner.
Met lots of great people, and if I forget your name, I deeply apologize. So that was the people's favorite prize. The first category was most creative use of the hashtag geocache road trip. You had to have it in your photos in order to be part of the contest. But the most creative use, the votes went to Donners. Congratulations to Donners.
There was no fix.
No, there was no fix.
I'm with Donners.
This was completely a double-blind study.
That's right.
Oh, wait. Donners used pool noodles to create her hashtag.
But I think there was more than just the hashtag that won the points on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very creative, most creative use. So no insider voting or anything. Had nothing to do with Hubadub 7 or anything. The second category of our hashtag geocache road trip contest was most aesthetically pleasing. And this prize went to Scruffster.
Way to go, Scruffster.
Way to go. He did the one with the hashtag geocache road trip spelled out in lights on the buildings.
That is a cityscape of Vancouver that you were looking at in that photo. And he took the photo from Stanley Park facing into the city. And then, yeah, lit up. I don't know how he arranged to get all those different office buildings and residential spaces lit up to spell
Really
hashtag geocache road trip, but he earned it.
Some quite coordinated effort. And if he
It was a
had
huge
all
coordinated effort.
vote for it on Facebook, he could have won the people's favorite, but he didn't. Just had to turn on their office lights for the evening and go home. I don't know.
What I'm amazed, though, is there's enough buildings in the Vancouver skyline to spell out geocache road trip to begin with.
That's a lot.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's small, but usually you get the buildings, they stack up in front of each other and it doesn't lay out nice to spell out words.
Bad cop, you really do need to get your butt up here and visit.
How big is the town? It's not very big, is it?
There's more than 4 buildings, I'll tell you that much.
Well, geocache road trip isn't not,
It's like 16, there you go.
So you got at least 16 tall buildings.
We do. It's amazing.
We're
like a real city.
I enjoyed my trip thoroughly. And in a recent perusal of my stats, not that I spent a whole lot of time there, but I was going through them for an event this week, I happened to notice that my northernmost find was Canada Place there, which I found with you guys that evening. So
Awesome.
there you go. You are in my stats.
Oh.
So our next category for our hashtag geocache road trip contest, category number 3, was the wildest adventure. And well, I don't think there was any question about this entry. It was Air Rooster. That
with the Iron Mule
Jeep,
too.
the Iron Mule Jeep with the kayak and the
Bicycles.
the bicycles on there, and who knows what else he had. But probably had rocket launchers hidden behind the kayak or something. It's a fully loaded, fully capable Jeep that lots of people commented at the block party, "Hey, I just saw that Jeep right over there." So
they probably loved it too.
Yeah.
Not to mention there's a hood-sized travel bug decal.
I was going to say, if you do see the
hood.
Iron Mule, go make sure you track the hood. So congratulations to Air Rooster for that one. That only leaves us one final category, and that was the Lackeys pick. We asked the geocaching.com lackeys to come by and vote for their favorite, and their favorite pick was Dora Moore. She had that awesome picture of the kayak with the geocache road trip written on the paddle handle. I don't know if it's an oar or paddle.
Paddle.
Either or. It's either or.
Either or. No.
And you can tell how often I get out kayaking. And so, well, congratulations to Dora Moore. That was a great picture. And to Dora Moore, if you're out there listening, I want you to notice, I appreciate the gift that you sent. Here, I'm going to try to hit with my flashlight. Look at that. Up there, she sent a little care package. Memory of the summertime, wintertime games that I can never get the name right, and I don't even try anymore. So thank you for that. They're up there in a place of honor on Wits End's studio wall.
Fantastic. And thanks to everybody who entered. And even if your name wasn't selected in the end for one of the prizes, you're all winners in one way or another. And keep listening, keep watching, and keep sharing the news about the podcast. There are plenty of prizes still to be won.
Well, they're winners because they listen to cachingnw.com. Right?
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
And if you didn't come see us at the block party, if we didn't pick your photo, any of those things, email us your geocaching name and your mailing address, and whether you prefer a Munzie of the geocaching prize. If you won one of those things.
So if we just called your name and we were going through the categories there?
Yeah. Pretty sure that's what I was supposed to say.
Awesome.
You angled it horribly, but you steered them all straight. So once again, you've come to the rescue. I'm just going to have a glass of water.
All right. Well, hey, folks, because we love prizes, we love contests just as much as you guys do, we want to tell you about another contest. And this is one that we can enter if we wanted to, because it's not our contest. But we want to promote it and we want to share it with you guys. We want to give you notice that it's ongoing presently. It is the Open Caching North America 5th Anniversary Contest, and it is happening this month of August 2015. All you need to do, find or place an OCNA cache in August 2015 to win great, cool OCNA and OCNA-related prizes. Details can be found at the OCNA, the Open Caching North America blog. I'm tongue-tying myself because I'm more tired than usual because I've actually gone back to work. So, but that blog, we will put the link to that in our show notes for you guys so you can find that because the URL is not easily pronounced.
It is kind of.
But if you start with blog.opencaching.us, you'll probably find it.
You'll probably find it.
Go there is a good start.
Publicize there.
Now, by the way, IHAM says, where's a rim shot when you need it, referring to Wits End's use of or. So tonight, because we haven't given you enough chance to win swag, we want to give away a brand new, not even on the website yet, cashkin. This is a very secret cashkin, so it was handed to me by Cash Advance's very own Lookout Lisa. The special prize tonight, only available to those who are listening, is a Cash Crate Cashkins. Look at this right here, guys. So if you're watching live, this is what you can win. Okay? So here's what you need to do. All you have to do is email feedback@cachingnw.com with the subject Block Party. Include your caching name and your mailing address in the email. That's it. You have to get this into the Caching Northwest inbox before 10 o'clock Pacific time tonight. That's feedback@cachingnw.com.
Okay, I sent my email in.
Yeah, I got to go email. Hang on, wait.
You guys can't win.
What?
No, can't win.
Fine.
Sorry.
These rules are completely arbitrary. I protest.
Is it because he's Canadian? No, it's different.
I'm afraid to answer that.
Go on another tirade. I'm telling you.
You're perfectly willing to go there all on your own.
Yeah.
Yes, get that email to us by 10 p.m. tonight, which gives you time to still listen to the rest of this glorious episode of the Caching in the Northwest podcast.
Yay!
Hashtag caching NW, hashtag win prizes.
Yes.
3 hams in a row goes, ooh, shiny. You better take a look at it again. Look at the shine. Look at the shine.
Or was that a reference to a certain television show that didn't last very long?
It makes me sad.
Firefly?
Wet Coaster says, yeah, I found it OCNA webcam cache last week.
Yes, he did.
Don't forget.
I know he did.
OCNA, Open Caching North America, has caches that geocaching.com no longer allows. Webcam caches. You could go put one up there, brand spanking new.
That's right.
Virtuals. You can still add a virtual cache.
Yeah.
I like
so
OCNA.
Get out there and support OCNA and be part of that contest. And don't you dare confuse Open Caching North America with OpenCaching.com, because guess what? OpenCaching.com, it's shut down. It's gone. Garmin reported they officially shut down OpenCaching.com in a rather quiet move. They didn't make a big ballyhoo about it at all. However, they do want you to know that their GPS devices will continue to support geocaching.
Well, that's good because that would be a lot of market share.
Yes, it would. So, Open Caching NA, yay! OpenCaching.com. Crickets.
Ooh, OpenCaching.com. Hooray, Open Caching NA! Oh, if you know the Red Stripe beer commercials, there you go. There's some flashback for you.
Oh, man, that's funny. That is too
3 hams in a row has already sent the email. Just saying.
Well, pressure's on, guys.
Pressure's on, guys. You know, you could bump him out of the running. It's, you know, it's going to be a random choice.
Good luck with that.
And Wet Coaster found Land Monkey, your very own webcam cache. Is that a webcam cache you've added recently?
I added 3 OCNA webcam caches in the greater Vancouver area. I believe I added them all in July, either June or July. So, yeah, there's open Caching North America caches up here. White Coaster's placed at least one, I think a couple. So, place more. The virtuals are fun to place. It's a cool site.
That's cool.
Wet Coaster wants to know if there ever was a big ballyhoo made over opencaching.com. When they first opened, they really did a lot of advertising.
So, yeah, it was actually the first geocaching site we had ever heard of because we bought our GPSR for backpacking. We hadn't really even heard of geocaching. We kind of heard of this geocaching thing, and I was like, oh, okay, well, this supports geocaching. That's great. But when we got our GPS, our eTrex 30, there was either some advertising that came with it, or when we registered it, or somehow we got pointed to the opencaching.com site. So we looked at it and went, oh, well, I guess this is where geocaches are listed, and there's like 5. So we thought, this is kind of odd. But, obviously about a couple of days later, we found the geocaching.com site. But I don't think there was a lot of ballyhoo outside of Garmin's own marketing department for that listing site, quite honestly. It's just really never took off.
Yeah.
No, it was a nice idea. I think they had a lot of dollars behind it. And by the way, we mentioned that before Brylang was able to fully type in his message into the live Q&A to mention that geocaching or opencaching.com had shut down.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I get my websites right.
Please do.
Yeah, please. Open Caching North America is alive and well.
Yes, and so is geocaching.com, by the way.
Who?
That other big one. The 800-pound gorilla in the geocaching world?
The white
that's
elephant.
contest for Americans.
Oh, Jim.
Hey, it was your rant. I just piggybacked whatever I did on it.
Piggy-tailed on it?
Piggy-tailed, yeah.
Don't go pulling my piggy tails.
Oh, don't go breaking my heart.
I won't go breaking your heart.
Let's go back and talk about prizes and contests and stuff.
Even if I tried. All right.
Okay. Land Monkey, you're up.
Am I up? It's my turn? Okay. Well, you know what?
What?
We are definitely getting the... That's what. We are definitely getting the feeling that you guys like getting prizes. Is it true? Do you guys like getting prizes? Because we could stop.
We can stop at any time.
Just let us know. We'll just keep all the stuff ourselves.
We got a whole vault full of prizes. We'll just play with them ourselves.
Yeah. We'll take our prizes and go home. All right. Well, you know what? We're pretty sure you guys like prizes. And if you like prizes, then you're going to have to like contests because that's how you're going to get them. But at the block party, something unique happened that does not happen very often at all. 4 podcasts came together and the internet imploded, and we came up with a harebrained idea in this harebrained idea, which is full credit to the Bad Cop and Sonny. I think we're kind of the ringleaders there, but came up with this harebrained idea where you, good listeners, can come up with some fabulous prizes. And all you have to do is listen to next week's episodes of Podcacher, GeoGearheads, Land Monkeys Geocaching Adventures, and, of course, Caching in the Northwest to find out what... Yay for us! Find out what iconic Fremont, Washington landmark, which is, I guess Fremont is part of Seattle. I don't know how that works. But anyways, Fremont, Seattle, Washington landmark, each host found to be the most interesting. Then title and email, Fremont landmarks in the body, write all 4 landmarks and who chose it. Where are you going to send that email? Learn more next week by listening to all 4 podcasts. We're going to just leave a cliffhanger right there.
We don't want you jumping ahead because we know how geocachers get to events early and they want to enter contests early. And by the way, geocacher Hubadub7, who I met at the block party, and I gave him a very special prize because I mistake him for another, shall we say, non-geocacher, yet somebody with a geocaching account. Anyway, I took care of that. He says, no, don't stop.
All
We
right.
must
Believing?
continue to give prizes away.
Oh,
It's-
prizes. I thought he meant don't stop believing.
Thanks for listening. How about that 7?
Brian
Yeah.
Lang says, I love prizes. Love, 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 love.
There you go.
That's a lot of love.
That's
He's got a
lot
whole
of
lot of love.
And Wet Coaster says, yay, prizes. Keep them coming.
Keep
So
them
Can't
I
coming.
think of a
think,
song for that one.
I think people like prizes.
Good, because we like giving away prizes.
Well,
We
in
love
that,
having contests.
we're going to keep giving them away, and we're going to keep having contests, and we're going to keep doing what we do.
Because it's what we do. And we do what we do.
And
If
it's
we
fun
could
to do
figure
what we
out
do when we do it.
is that we do, we could do what we do even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what else is happening out there in the world?
No.
Sadly, a lot of fires.
Yeah, that is sad and it is true.
There was a tornado of fire in Idaho. It was a fire-nado.
Are you serious?
And yeah,
Mhm.
it's pretty incredible out there. There's just we saw this tweet while we were out caching on over the weekend that an entire Washington County was under a level 1 evacuation notice up in Okanagan County. I have some good friends of mine that are out there on the front lines fighting the fires, and thankfully they're still well. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the families involved. We lost 3 Washington firefighters yesterday in the town of Twisp,
Yeah.
and so no joking or anything about that. It's a very sad situation. They were out fighting hard to defend the town that they belong to. They were the local guys from that area, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the family members there. And it's just no joke. There's just a whole mess of huge fires all over the Northwest. Fires know no boundaries. So as this drought drags on and the fires continue, please remember to be extra careful when you're out there. Urban caching, suburban caching, wilderness caching, doesn't matter. Just be really super careful and cognizant that it's dry out there and lots of stuff is just ready to go up. So there are 95 major fires burning just this week, according to the news we read earlier. And, don't make it 96. Pack out whatever you pack in. If you see fires smoldering, report it. 800-663-5555 up in BC, or you can also use star 5555 on cell networks up there. And in Washington, call 800-562-6010.
And don't forget, call 911 if you see anything. You see smoke, you see anything smoldering.
You see somebody throwing a cigarette out of a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say earlier this evening, I can't remember the number, but it was in the millions of either acres or hectares that across the Northwest are on fire right now. It's insane this year. So guys,
I want to say 17 million acres.
that's
are on
probably
fire.
right.
I mean, that's an inconceivable area for me. 17 million. How do you? It may as well be the entire state of Washington.
I don't know.
It's to the point where because there are no clouds. It's so dry that you can see the smoke from the fires from space. So we had some friends that got married in Spokane this weekend, and they had chosen a very nice scenic location, with the mountains in the background. And when they went and got their wedding pictures done, all there was smoke in the background. So they still got married. They're a lovely couple.
That's good. Well, and as Wet Coaster throws in the Q&A there, too many of those fires are being caused by humans. One fire is too many, and absolutely agree with Wet Coaster there. So guys, let's be responsible geocachers when we're out there, and let's just be careful.
That's right. And remember, in this hot weather, bring hats, sunscreen, lots of water. Bring more water than you think you're going to need. If you have to pack it back, that's okay.
You probably won't. You'll probably drink it all.
You'll probably drink it all. Yeah. Yeah. So before we wrap up our news and information here, we want to remind you that we're always interested in your news. Geocachers, we want to know if you've claimed your latest geocaching road trip souvenir from geocaching.com. That's the mystery souvenir. And if you've claimed the mystery souvenir, you very well may be a hero. A road trip hero for 2015. Tell us all about your epic adventure.
We want to hear about it.
Yeah, we do.
a whole bunch of fun stuff going on this summer, in spite of all the fires and stuff. Thankfully, there's still some fun geocaching to be had. You know, that's a whole, what was it, the metric load of news and contests. That's a whole bunch. Bunches and bunches. And, you know, we have to tell you that besides coming up with harebrained contest schemes, we also had a great time last weekend out there, block partying and ape caching and all that stuff. It was really cool. I enjoyed meeting lots of cool people.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, 3M's in a row said he enjoyed meeting us too, because he said just meeting you fine gents in person at the block party was prize enough for me. So that tells me that even though he sent his email in, you don't have to award that Cashkins to him.
No.
Is he officially withdrawing from the contest then? Is that what that is?
That's kind of what I'm saying there.
Okay.
Oh, and Brylang says he has earned all 6 souvenirs. However, I don't remember him calling into the podcast and telling us all about them.
No, so don't mention it anymore.
Okay, done.
Even though he is that hero.
Yeah.
Way to go, Larry boy.
Oh, boy.
VeggieTales reference for anybody who didn't quite catch that.
Yeah. I like 3 hams in a rows. But am I cheating on caching in the Northwest if I listen to the other podcast? Well, of course you are.
Of course.
No, it should be part of your geocaching exploration to listen to all the podcasts. There's room in your brain for multiple podcasts to be playing.
Well, at least all 4
necessarily
of
at the
those
same
ones.
time. At those are some of the 4 best ones right there. Those are the 4 I listen to. So, you know, get on your headphones, go for extra walks, extra hikes, start listening to podcasts. You want to listen to all 4 in 1 week.
Listen on your commute.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it was a great time this weekend at the block party. We met so many listeners and people who came by and said, I've never heard of this podcast. I live in Idaho or I live in Oregon. How come I've never heard of this? And you know what I said to them? I don't know. Here, you want to listen now?
Did we give them a card?
We did.
Did we give them a pin?
Yeah. Oh, boy.
We did, yeah.
Land Monkey, tell us about those pins.
So hopefully our friends at Helen. Boy, why do I always struggle with the name of the city?
Helena, Montana.
You know what's
Helena.
funny?
I always want to say Helena, and I always have to stop myself, and I don't know why that is.
I've said it both ways on Saturday. And I was like, well, wait, which way's right now? So which end it is?
I've always said Helena, so.
I have
And it is Helena. I actually asked when I was there. The people who lived there told me it's Helena.
Okay, let's go with that.
All right. So our good friends at Helena Geotour, and if you're watching the video, you are seeing live here some pretty cool swag that you're going to have a chance to win in a couple of weeks. But anyways, there you go. Check it out. Our good friends at the Helena Geotour were kind enough to provide us at Caching in the Northwest with some swag for the Helena Geotour. You just saw the water bottles filled with swag that are going to be prizes on the show in a couple of weeks, but they also gave us a metric buttload of Geocache Helena pins.
Right.
They're cool little, lapel pins or hat pins or whatever you want to, wherever you want to put them. Don't put them on your dog. And we just had them on the table, and we also had a bunch of brochures and other paperwork for if you wanted to actually just head straight from the block party to Montana and go. There's the pin right there. I can't read it. I heard geocaching in Helena.
Helena.
There you go.
Helena.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There you go.
So our good friends there gave us a bunch of those pins. People were coming by the table. People were asking us, number of times we were asked how much those pins cost. And guys, how much did those pins cost people who came by the table?
We sold them for no, we didn't.
To us, they were priceless.
They were.
Exactly.
However, we gave them away at $0.
Absolutely. Free.
Even $0 Canadian dollars.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gave them away.
That's the one time the exchange rate's even.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. So I brought those back from the amazing time we had in Helena and the fantastic, awesome people who run the Helena Geo Tour. We brought those back. We gave them away. We promoted the Helena Geo Tour at our booth because Mrs. Landminke and I just came back from doing that Geo Tour and we loved it. It was awesome. And that is going to be one of next week's videos on Land Monkey's Geocaching Adventures is the Helena Geo Tour. So watch for that. But we gave away so many of those pins. People loved them. People picked up the brochures to actually go and do the Geo Tour. So I hope if you're one of those people who came by our booth and picked some of that stuff up, I hope you go and do it. And I want you to call us, 253-693-TFTC, or email us and tell us all about how wicked cool the adventure was.
Exactly. But this week was the block party. We were all there. We all went different places at different times and saw the block party from different angles. So, Wits End, would you tell us a thing or two that struck you most about the block party?
Well, I mentioned the people. It's all about the people, the listeners. There's some great people up there. And I enjoyed meeting a whole bunch of people that I had never met before. But another memory that I had from up there, I hope all of you got up that went to the block party. I hope you all got up and signed the log. And this year the log was about a 12 or 15 foot tall.
Let's say 15.
Inflatable 15 for 15 years of geocaching. Not the 15th block party, but it was the final block party.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and it was creative and unique and fun, and lots of people were pulling the inflatable down so they could sign the very top of it. I decided not to do that. I decided to just grab a pen and start writing on the side until the people started letting go, and it started rising away from me as I was signing it. But otherwise, it was cool. And, fantastic weather up there, and we had a splendid time, was had by all.
Yes, of course. It was funny. You'd mentioned that. I go, oh, I got to go sign that. And people were pulling it down as I started signing. It started raising up, and I was like, oh, no, you don't. I sincerely hope that wasn't a rental, because I don't think they can get the Sharpie off of it.
Yeah, it's, yeah.
It makes you wonder what they're going to do with that.
Interesting.
That's a very large
take
object.
1-inch squares and make them trackable.
Well, there you go. Maybe they could display it at Cache Advance in Spokane, Washington.
There you go.
They've got a lot of room there to put things out like that.
I was going to say inside the ammo can.
Let's make the whole thing trackable. It's a single trackable item.
Because that's what Lisa needs, is more gigantic trackable things in her warehouse.
I'm kidding, Lisa. Sorry I mentioned it. I'm not suggesting you have to hold that thing in your warehouse all these times.
Lisa, we love you. We don't want you to forget about us again. Okay? She goes, that's it. I'm not helping that podcast ever again.
You guys are hosed.
Well, Wits End, you mentioned people, and that's really what makes an event special. So thank you, Caching in the Northwest listeners, for coming by, introducing yourselves. We're here on the podcast, and, you see us every week. We don't necessarily see you. We hear from you in the live Q&A. We hear from you in email. We'd love to hear from you in your own voice. See how I work that in? But it was nice meeting you in person, and thank you for all the kind words. The vendors there are top notch. I mean, I've already mentioned Lisa at Cache Advance. That's cache-advance.com to get the Cashkin, which I checked tonight, is still not on the website. You can't buy this. This is priceless.
But you can win it.
But you can win it, and we're giving it away tonight for free. There you have it. And we have a couple, so, I noticed a couple of husband and wives have already sent email in. I'm not saying names. But good job, guys. So, but the people made it great. The vendors were there, coinsandpins.com. I got to meet Aaron from coinsandpins.com. Wonderful person. He's provided the majority of the prizes for the hashtag geocache road trip. So that's going on. GX Proxy was there, and Bev, that's the name I'm thinking of. Always very friendly to the podcast, so thank you. Vendor Row was well done this year.
Yep.
It was actually laid out really well. I think they've learned year after year, the folks who organized the event at geocaching.com, and yeah, it was effective the way it was laid out. I think we had a great spot. You came down the stairs and hey, come on and see us. We couldn't have asked for a better spot. That was very generous of them to do that.
Definitely. There's a live Q&A from Three Hams in a Row. Said, yeah, I had already signed the Big 15 using the Sharpie before I heard I wasn't supposed to. I wonder why the table was covered in Sharpies next to the 15.
Wasn't supposed to. I never heard that.
I don't know. By the time I got up there, every, square foot had signatures in it. So
yeah, maybe you weren't originally supposed to, and then they just gave up.
Yeah.
Maybe that wasn't the log.
Oh, bummer. Now what do we do? We didn't officially go then. If you didn't sign the log, you didn't find it.
Right.
Actually, I think they've waived that rule for events now, haven't they? Or is it only?
I know they have to have a count if they're audited to 500 or 5,000, but if you're over 500, I don't know.
Is that to maintain their ISO certification for events?
Yes, exactly.
Must be.
Oh dear.
Those are generally accepted accounting practices.
So, Bad Cop, any other cool highlights or memories you want to share?
There's so many. It's hard to pick just one.
Yeah.
It was also nice to see Terry Hadwin, who we've had on this podcast, talking about the Gold Country Geo Tour. It was nice to see her in person in 3D.
Yeah.
Meet her. We actually went out for drinks afterwards. It was nice. It was good to get to know her a bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. It was fantastic to hang out with everybody from the Gold Country group and some other cachers from the interior of BC who were there helping out with the Gold Country team. So that was fantastic. We all had a pint and hung out and chatted for a little while before dinner. That was very cool. It was fantastic and fun to get out with Donners and our daughter Manta Rays and Mrs. Land Monkey, and went out and tried some of the lab caches this year. So again, that's something that they've been evolving and maturing is the lab caches over the last 3 years, and they're just getting better and better. I think a number of them were creative and fun. So we really enjoyed that. And then another highlight for us was grabbing dinner afterwards, where it was your good hosts here of the show, plus Donners and Mrs. Land Monkeys and Manta Rays, my beautiful young daughter, as well as another beautiful young person, Three Hams in a Row, joined us for dinner. And
That was cool.
That was fun.
Just a name in the Q&A box, but to meet him in person was a lot of fun.
That was cool. And of course, not to forget to mention all of you awesome listeners who came by and said hi and logged or discovered our now infamous CNW puppets.
Yes. Oh my goodness, I'm still getting logs in from those name tags on the puppets. Yeah, they were quite popular. Lots of people stop. Anytime you have a trackable available in a group, people are, oh, shiny, I've got to go log it. And I find it interesting that there's one individual who's now logged the trackable 6 times.
Better safe than sorry.
Yes,
Right.
It's to the point Gmail's, just started keeping a counter. Tick, 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 tick. Anyway.
Gmail says, oh, you again.
You again.
And if you don't know, let's go back and
okay.
watch episode 100. Just that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yes. So we have Q&A. We've gone along tonight, but there was so much. We have Q&A that I wanted to pop in there from, again, Three Hams in a Row, who apparently is our block party expert. Make sure you get all those syllables out.
Not block party. That's a different thing.
No. They wanted us to use the other non-Sharpie erasable pens.
Oh.
Interesting.
And he had another one in here, and I've lost it. Oh, well, wait, that's from Brylang. This is not to be confused with log singing. I think
Yeah,
he meant...
He said log signing is required at mega
Yes.
and giga events. Other events, not so much. Not to
Thank
be
you.
confused with log singing.
There you go.
Or
Log singing is not actually required?
It could be log singeing. I think it's spelled the same as singing. Have you ever singed a log?
Yes, that's called
Yeah.
a campfire. You can't have those in the state of Washington.
Yeah, not right now.
Gentlemen, as I said, we've run long tonight. We had a blast at the block party. We've got more to talk about from the weekend.
Yes, we do.
We did the hike up to GCD. That's the oldest cache in the state of Washington. We did the Ape event, and we did a Terrain 5 cache just to fill in that souvenir
Yeah.
on geocaching.com's Road Trip 2015.
Is that the one where I parked in the middle of a lake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you drove into a lake.
We convinced Land Monkey to drive his car halfway across the lake.
I just followed the GPS. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Blindly follow the GPS?
Well, yes,
Absolutely.
of course. That's all we do anymore.
Yeah.
Yes.
And sometimes at the end there's a geocache.
Mhm.
And we like to talk about them. But I think we've talked about them a little bit enough tonight. A little bit enough? How about that? I'm tongue-tied as well. Let's just put this show to bed, gentlemen, shall we?
Good
We've
night.
talked enough tonight. However, before we do that, assuming someone actually still wants to learn more about us or find us on the interwebs, where on earth would they go to find us? Land Monkey, how about you?
Well, they can go on Twitter or Instagram at LandMonkeyGC. On Facebook, look for Team Land Monkey, and on YouTube, which is where you will find Land Monkey's Geocaching Adventures, just search for Land Monkey. Or
Yes.
if you really want to search for Land Monkey's Geocaching Adventures, you can do that too, but it's a lot easier just to search for Land Monkey.
And the bad cop.
You know, I like Caching NW. You can find that Caching NW on Twitter, on Facebook, on Google+. You have to go to google.com/plus Caching NW. Wits End, what about you?
That's silly Google. It adds stuff to me too, because I'm Wits End just about everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, you name it. But Google, I'm plus Wits End US.
Because plus is better.
Yes, google.com/plus Wits End US. And with that, we would like to thank you all, new and old, previous listeners and current listeners and future listeners, for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Did you know, if we haven't mentioned enough, you can still be part of the show? Well, not this episode, but future ones. Give us a call, 253-693-TFTC. Leave us a comment. Ask us a question. Feed us at an event, please. You can do that anytime, day or night. Food's appreciated anytime, day or night as well. And, email us, as mentioned, feedback at cachingnw.com. You got just about 12 minutes if you're listening live to get in that contest tonight. Your support helps keep quality shows like this coming. Well, quality shows, not necessarily like this one. If you like this show, click the PayPal button on the cachingnw.com website, and we might make an even better show next week. This show, however, is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Copyright 2015 by Chris Umfenauer. Peace out, 73, good night, and all that.
Good night, folks. And we are clear of the recording.
Awesome.
Okay.
48 minutes, boys.
That was a long one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tongue was tied for 47 and a half of them.
Yeah, well.
I was surprised when you made the comment near the end there that we'd gone long and it was time to start wrapping things up. I was thinking, but
But we just get started. I know.
lots of contests and news today.
Hey,
So
there was
let's see.
there
go
was
ahead.
Q&A from Brylang that asks which 4 podcasts he needs to listen to.
Yes, which 4 podcasts?
There's Caching, there's
Podcasting.
Ian, there's Northwest. Oh wait, that's
Caching in the Northwest. Yeah, that's it. Caching in the Northwest, Land Monkey's Geocaching Adventure, Geo Gearheads, and Podcacher. That's the 4.
So that would be Podcacher, GeoGearheads, Land Monkey's Geocaching Adventures, and Caching in the Northwest?
In reverse order. You are sharp tonight.
It's
Land
like I
Monkey.
was listening.
Or reading.
There you go. Did you get that, Brian? All good?
If not, contact Land Monkey and he'll let you straight.
There you go.
Land
Hey.
Monkey, 3 hams in a row, takes offense to you calling him young. He's 43.
Hmm.
But is that 43 metric years?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
he is Canadian.
What Coaster says, Green Words. He and Green Words got our last souvenir last Saturday. Small consolation for missing the block party. But they are happy to have gotten the souvenirs for the summer.
That's excellent. And White Coaster, since you're listening, I do have your swag bag from Geocaching Block Party. So we need to just figure out a time and we'll get together. I can hand that over to you. I'm sure you'll be pleased to get that. And we did miss you at the block party this year.
Yes,
We were sad you couldn't make it. What's good enough?
I'm good enough.
Brian Lang is saying it's good enough that he's got the list of 4 podcasts to listen to, I believe.
Ah, okay. I thought he meant the podcast in general.
Oh, well, of course.
It's not great. It's good enough.
It's the best episode we've
It'll
done
do.
all day.
Yeah, that's true. You know, it's the best 108th episode we've ever done.
It really is.
Yeah.
108. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
On our way to 200.
Yeah.
Keep them counting down. On Geo Gearheads, we're in the 190s.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I haven't listened for a little while since I went on the road trip.
Since like episode 100, you can catch up.
Oh, this is Land Monkey has a no listening to podcasts while driving rule when we're on road trips.
Have you heard of earbuds?
Not when I'm driving. Isn't that illegal?
I think it is. I think it's illegal to have headphones or earbuds in to eliminate,
Both is done. I mean,
road noise. But to see it all the
headsets are
time.
legal.
Bluetooth
Yeah.
headsets are legal. There you
I
go.
think if you have just one earbud in, I think it's okay, but
Why chance it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I can listen to all the podcasts on my commute to work now.
I am not a legal advice expert or a lawyer or any of those things, so
Anything you hear here at cashingnw.com is not legal advice. Please seek a lawyer, but not against
Or
us.
just use your own common sense and don't
Yeah.
listen to us.
well, except for listening to the podcast.
That you should do, regardless.
Because we don't use common sense here.
Just
You
don't
can
take our
suspend
advice.
common sense while listening to this podcast.
Absolutely. There's no common sense on Thursday nights. Come on.
Oh, IHAM says the thought of Bad Cop and Sonny getting their heads together is a bit frightening.
It was. It was a bit frightening. I could see the electricity arcing between the ears.
It was like thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening.
Amadeus?
Galileo.
Bryling says it's good enough. The podcast is good enough.
Magnifico.
3 Hams says, congrats to you gents and Bryling on the T5. After hiking 5 miles in the tunnel, I didn't feel like walking another 2 to the T5. I'm right miffed now to hear that I could have driven to within 300 meters of the cache on the lake bed.
There was a number of vehicles parked beside ours when we got off the island. That was kind of funny.
It was quite amazing.
Yeah.
And
Bryling adds, yes, it was an easy 300-meter walk to the cache, except for the tree branch that I tried to stab myself with.
Well, that's silly. Why would you do that?
How did you do that?
Well, it's a T5 cache. You can't
Ah.
just walk up to it. There has to be some hazards.
I hope he didn't try to do that with the knotted branch.
The not one. That was cool.
The knot
was-
tree,
Yeah.
that was not something.
I thought it was a little naughty.
Oh, naughty tree. That was much better than my joke.
Not really.
Naughty pine?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Not
Who's there?
tree.
What was it, Bill and Jane or Bill? I can't
Mr.
remember.
Bill?
Oh no, Mr. Bill.
Let me look. But guys, you can't talk any more about that because that's all next week's episode. You can't spill next week's episode ahead of time.
Talk about what? I didn't hear anything.
It was Judy and Dell. I think it was Dell Griffith.
Shower curtain guy?
Yeah, shower.
I know what you mean. I can take it. I've been with Dell Griffith.
Can anybody tell me what the what movie that's from? Tree Who? No, not that one.
Shower curtain
Brightling, it was almost dark. It's almost dark now. It's very dark, except in this room.
I think it's bedtime.
How about that?
Yeah, that's
so
the witness
can you tell
protection.
me how long you've been in the witness protection program?
Either that or an anonymous informant.
Three Hams and a Rose wants to know how long did it take y'all. He's Canadian and he's using y'all to hike up and down GCD. We're not going to tell you. That's next week's show.
Next week.
Yes, and the other answer to that is it depends on who you ask. Because some of us took different ways, and we'll definitely talk about that next week. So
it was a metric buttload of time. No, it wasn't.
Not really.
Brylang says GCD hike started at 6:30 with the mass group of 100-ish. We were down to the ape event by 10:30.
Yeah, I missed the group photo with the 100-ish.
Yeah, they were up just a little bit before us, but I think we caught up with a lot of them.
My guess was 75, but 100, assuming that not every car had 2 people in it. But
there was a lot of cars.
Our car had 5.
Yeah.
6.
6, yeah.
I'm even good in maths. I can do the maths.
But let's not spoil any more of our GCD episode for next week.
You're going to force us to go off the air tonight if you keep asking questions.
Yeah. It was including
keep asking questions about GCD.
From the hike down to the event. Yes, one more GCD question and we're done for the night. I promise.
Is that a threat or a promise?
I was going to say, watch the questions start pouring in.
Yeah, exactly.
Quick, ask about your
GCD question mark.
Kind of what I was afraid of.
Hey, what's our? Oh, we got 3 minutes left in the.
I was going to say it's exactly 3 minutes to go. If you didn't get your email into feedback@cachingandw.com with the subject line block party, include your geocaching name and your email or your physical address, your mailing address. And now you only have 2 minutes after that description.
Apparently, Brylang's physical mailing address is 42.
It is the ultimate answer.
I'm going to email to 40 or mail to 40. Email. Everything's email.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Wet coaster get better? Sorry to hear
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
We all wish you to get better, Wet Coaster.
Hey, I'll let you know. Somebody's emailed within the last 8 minutes.
Okay.
So how many entries do we have? 2?
No.
One, I suppose.
1, 2, 3. 3 Hams in a Rose emailed 3 times.
Well, he's 3 hymns.
Oh, yeah. I lost count. How many do we have there? 1, 2,
3 plus 3.
4, 5, 6, 7. 7, it looks like.
Wow. Without duplicate 7?
Yeah, that was deduped.
Oh.
That's
Oh,
pretty good.
sorry, Brylang, we're done.
I didn't think we actually had 7 or possibly 8 people listening live. That's fantastic. You guys are good sports.
I know iHam and Die Monkey both listen, though only iHam, I think, is in control of the keyboard.
There you go.
Okay, so we did a cache with them on Monday. We went to an event on Monday, and we should have them on the show so they can share their bits.
Don't tell too much about that episode either, because they could come on and we could talk about that on the episode.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. They take and use Chromecast and cast this podcast up onto the big TV.
Yeah.
So,
Really?
we're big time. Oh, yeah, we're TV stars.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Just like in Hollywood.
I
But
compare-
Brightling mentioned GCD, and I need to end the podcast like I promised.
Okay, good night.